Hi, Facebook family. I am so excited. You guys have been seeing my posts that I have a big announcement and I'm excited to tell you about it. Um, wow, February has been a crazy month and it's the last day of February and it's just been such an interesting month for me. You know, February is really significant in my life for two big reasons. Number one, it is the month that 19 years ago, I decided to start my own business with a direct sales company, and it literally changed my life. And it's also the month that February 22nd is my divorce anniversary. And many of you came to both my first and my second divorce anniversary parties. And I'm grateful that I started a business 19 years ago because it changed my life, and I'm grateful for my divorce because it saved my life. February is also a month of love. And so it's been really interesting. I've shared with you guys the journey that I've been on in writing a book called Making Cancer Fun, and the book title is still up in the air, but working on that and going through that, and I'm really excited, and we went through a first edit of it, and it's really amazing to me because it reminds me of where I was at that point in my life. And a lot of what I talk about is being grateful, which, I'm writing this while I'm on oncology floor, right? Isn't that an odd place that this theme of gratefulness would keep coming up? And, those of you who know me and have been on my Facebook page for a while, a few years ago when Facebook allowed us to kind of put a little tagline about who we are and who we wanted the world to know we were, you look at the top of my page and it's a heart, and it says grateful, and it says a heart. And I realized when I look at a lot of my social media, my Facebook, my Instagram, my Twitter, my pages, it's all about this gratefulness. And it made me kind of go, my daughter's always calling me. She's like, oh, Mom, you're like a Pollyanna. Everything is always the positive. Everything is the positive. And it's made me kind of go, I wasn't, maybe is that, I've always been that way? Is that a genetic thing? Or maybe that's a choice that I've made. And it's also been really interesting because if any of you have been on the news or Facebook or anything, I feel like this is undertone in our country of angst, of anger, of fear, of this just energy. And I was in Washington a few weeks ago, in D.C. doing advocacy work, and just the tension that was there and seeing people. And I went, And so I'm starting I want to kind of tell you what brought this around, and then the class that I'm starting, that I'm going to invite you if you want to be part of this class with me. With February and feeling all this gratefulness and reading all of this gratefulness and working through my book and remembering where I was in 2009. I was absolutely in the pit of ungratefulness. I had just gotten through my domestic violence divorce. I had been dealing with court cases, restraining orders, sleeping with my windows locked at night. It was a bad situation. And I had my entire life literally just fell apart. It was like my life was a puzzle on the wall and somebody had shot it with a BB gun and all the pieces fell onto the floor. I felt like I had absolutely hit rock bottom and was watching everything around me fall apart. And 9 months later, after the ink is signed on my divorce, I realized, I'm not on rock bottom. I'm sitting on a trap door. There is further to fall. And you guys know I ended up in an oncology ward with my 3.5-year-old, and she's diagnosed with high-risk stage 4 cancer. And I was just thinking, like, what the heck is happening in my life? Have you ever been there? Have you been in that place where you're like, could anything else go wrong, right? It's just like the things are falling around behind me. Can it get worse? And it was crazy, and I'm glad that I'm at a place now where I can say it was almost comical, because I go through this divorce thing. Now my daughter's in a cancer ward. We're at the hospital for 24 hours, and I get a phone call from the financial department of the hospital, and they say to me, your insurance just dropped you. We'd like to know how you plan on taking care of your bill. I was like, what? And so my insurance company claimed she had a pre-existing condition, and so they dropped me, and they dropped her within the 24 hours of checking into the hospital. 4 days later, the hospital calls me. They're like, when are you planning on doing this? I'm like, I don't know. So I'm there, 24 hours, find out we have no insurance. 24 hours after that, I get a phone call. I had been hired to be the spokesperson for this huge website company. I've been doing interviews. I've been investing time. This was going to be another significant source of income for me. They call me and let me know that the owner of the company has suddenly suddenly drop dead unexpectedly, and everything is on hold, and they don't know if we're even going to continue, which they ended up not continuing. And all of a sudden now that whole source of income is completely gone. Pella's like, I have been there, and you're just like it was almost to the point where I had to start laughing, because I was like, this is insane. Like, I felt like I woke up in the Twilight Zone. What was going on in my life? And, have you been there where you just look like what else can possibly go wrong? And so I'm looking down because I wrote specific notes that I want to make sure I share with you, and I don't want to miss anything because this is live. When you do it live, you can't go back and redo it. And so, sometimes I feel like when our life is like that, part of it is the choices we made. I mean, clearly I made the choice, to marry my ex-husband. So sometimes it's the choices that we make. And sometimes it's just the stuff that life is throwing at you, right? And it's not really about your choice. But all I could see around me was everything that was negative, everything that was not happening, and everything that was falling apart. And, I had been in at that point, over a decade, I had been in an industry where I was really teaching personal development, personal growth, life skills, how to change your life, the power of law of attraction, the power of the subconscious mind. So I had been immersed in this and for over a decade, and had been coaching women around the country on this. And so I knew from my training, I knew from all the education that I had, that what we focus on gets bigger. And I knew I had to change what I was focusing on really, really fast. And so I decided that at that point, one night I was sitting in this oncology room. My daughter, is hooked up to all these wires and IVs and everything, and she's in bed sleeping. And I had a laptop that somebody had let me borrow, actually, because I didn't even have a laptop at that point. And I decided that I had to change what I was focusing on if I was going to change my situation and if I was going to change my life. And I could not be anymore in this place of just so sad all the time. Have you ever felt that way? Where you just feel like I can't be like this one more day. And it was then that I started my Grateful Journal. And I'm going to share with you what that is. And I decided to post my Grateful Journal at the time on Facebook. I'll post on Facebook, and then I'll be accountable. Oh, Frances, you're such an inspiration to me. But I felt like I'll be accountable. Like if we show up and we have to tell somebody else we're going to do it, right? We're more likely to do it. And so I kind of thought, well, if I post on Facebook, then I'll feel like more accountable. So this is, I have in my book excerpts of my Grateful Journal. And so this is January 14th, okay? So this is about less than 8 weeks after she got her diagnosis. And so I talk about how I realize how ungrateful I am. And these last 2 years, I've been feeling so sorry for myself. And so I decided to list my gratefulness here. And the first thing that I wrote that I was grateful for was that my mom was able to stay with Emily while I was at the hospital at the times that I had to leave. If I had to go to, I was still dealing with court issues. So if I had to go to court, if I had to, go do something, my mom was able to stay with Emily in the hospital. And that was the first thing that I was grateful for. The second thing that I was grateful for was my cousin was able to stay with my mom. The third thing I was grateful was that I came home to 40 cards and counting from people, many of them you, around the world praying for Emily. And the fourth thing that I was grateful for was that those 40 cards didn't include the stack of presents that you guys were sending for Emily. I was overwhelmed. The love that you guys poured out on me, and those of you who don't know me, the love that poured out from my community to me was overwhelming. The fifth thing I was grateful for was that my best friend, Danielle Bond, takes my calls while she's at work and I'm having a midlife crisis. Not the kind that I'll go out and buy a red Corvette and call back the 21-year-old that picked me up a few months ago, but the kind that makes me think I should go move onto a mountain and meditate so I can just try to find meaning in this all. And so that first night, I listed in my Grateful Journal, 18 things that I was grateful for. And I remember that first one. I remember trying to what the heck can I be grateful for, right? And okay, well, I can be grateful for my mom, I can be grateful for my cousin. I can be grateful for the people around me. So that first day, I had 18 things that I was grateful for. Day 2, I had 19 things that I was grateful for. And so this is January 14th. By February 5th, I had 36 things that I found to be grateful for. And by April 5th, I wrote the chapter that's now in my book called Life is Good. And I talked about how it was the first time in my life I could actually sit there and say, life is good. And here I am My daughter still had cancer at that point. She was not in remission. She was not cleared. This was April. She had not even had a bone marrow transplant yet. We were in the midst of chemo. And for my spirit and my soul to be able to say, life is good. Do you see the difference? Like from January 14th in the pit of despair to April 5th. And the only thing that changed, my circumstances didn't change. I was still in court. My daughter still had cancer. I was still had all the same circumstances, but I had changed. And that was when I really understood the power of a grateful journal. I truly believe with every fiber of my being down to my heart that if every single person in the world wrote a grateful journal every night before they go to bed, this entire world would be changed. Dr. Raindwire says, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at start to change. And so here's what's cool. So the last few years, I've really gotten fascinated with the science behind this. There are so many studies out there. They invest millions of dollars in these studies through major hospitals, major universities to kind of understand what's this connection between gratitude and physical symptoms, mental health, all of that. So here's just a couple of things that they have found that people who practice gratitude have. They have improved mental strength. How many of us would love to have improved mental strength, right? Improve focus, concentration. They improve our immune system. How many of us would like to stop getting a cold every time somebody sneezes, right? And you'd love to have a stronger immune system. They lower your blood pressure. Oh my gosh. They are also linked to, gratitude is all linked to more joy, more happiness, more generosity, more compassion. I thought this was really cool that people who practice gratitude are less likely to feel lonely and isolated. And they sleep better. Oh my gosh, isn't that crazy? So all of these things and they're doing more and more and more. There's all these studies currently going on saying, hey, we know that people who practice gratitude on a regular basis have these significant differences in their life. Now, so here's what I'm going to do. Okay, so let's go talk about this, the science. I'm really excited. I am taking what I learned from my 10 years before I started doing my Grateful Journal. And I'm taking all of the information that I've learned over the last 7 years, while I have been understanding and starting to like really research and say, well, why does this work? And why is it that, I tend to look towards the positive. Now, I'm going to be in the complete, you guys know I'm transparent. I've always been transparent. That's why so many people started reading my Grateful Journal. I was transparent about the stuff that was going on around me. I still struggle with happiness. Quick fix, formula. But what I don't struggle with is gratefulness. There will be moments, guys, where I am so overwhelmed with gratefulness that I feel like I can't even breathe. There are moments where I just go, oh my gosh, how can just God and life be, I'm so grateful. And so I want to be able to share that and create that. I want to create more of that because what I don't like is seeing all the negative stuff that's out there. I want to say how, because here's the thing, if we can change, like if I can create that gratefulness, that's going to spread out into my community, into the people that I meet, into the people that I have contact with on a daily basis. If you start to practice gratitude and learn these tools and create this and learn your life, right? Yeah, Deb Starkey, gratitude can change your life. If you learn these tools and you learn how to do what I've been doing for the last 19 years, right? It'll trickle out of your life and into your community, into your friends and all of that. So I'm going to be offering a 1-month class, and I've never done anything like this before because normally it's only just for the people who work with me directly, but this is not. This has nothing to do with my full-time business or anything like this. This is something completely different. This is for men. This is for women. This is for teenagers. This is for anybody. You don't even need to be connected to me. You don't even need to know me. You can just be somebody who this got passed on to you that they think, you're in a place where you want to have a change. You want to have a change in your life, okay? And it's called The Grateful Connection. And that was the name that you guys voted on, The Grateful Connection. And our goal is to create a community in this 1-month class that is a community of people creating gratefulness in their life with the goal to then have that trickle out to change their life. So that if you're at a place where I was on January 15th, where you're like, I need to think of one thing to be grateful for, that in a month later, you'll have 19, 20, 25, 30 things on your grateful list. And that it will start to create a new habit of gratefulness in your life. Knowing that what we focus on gets bigger and that over that month, more and more things will start to show up in your life that you have to be grateful for, right? Okay, so here's what you get in the class. We're gonna have everybody at the beginning of the class take an online quiz. You'll get a link when you register, and you'll get a link to register, get your spot in the class, and you'll get a quiz to take, kind of evaluating where you are with your gratitude, things, kind of where do you fall on those different scales, and what do you hope to get out of this class. And then at the end of the 30 days, you'll get another quiz to take so that we can really see what kind of progress did you make. Like, I like tangible results, right? I want to see, okay, this was worth my time. I'll be doing you'll be joined into, those people who are taking the class, you'll be in a private group. And so you'll be the only ones who have access to that. And there'll be 2 live streams like this twice a week, one in the day and the one in the evening, so that they're interactive. We can post questions, concerns, like what's stopping you, what maybe doesn't make sense. What would you like to change through your gratitude? I'll be posting daily and weekly motivation onto that. And we'll be creating a community support where we can ask you to share, well, what are you finding? Where are you struggling? What's getting better? What are you creating with this? And so you might say, well, and here's what this is my favorite part. If you are a cancer parent, or you are currently undergoing cancer treatment yourself, your class is totally free. You can join absolutely for free. Just let me know, just message me, say, here's my deal. I'm a cancer patient. I'm currently going under treatment, or I'm a cancer parent. I've got a kid going for treatment. I'll just add you to the group for free, because I really, guys, this was the thing that when I did in that hospital that I believe just saved my soul. And so I want everybody who's in that situation to be able to take advantage of this. So I guess this, people say, well, why would I join a group? Why can't I just do a grateful journal on my own at night, right? Why do I need to be part of this class? Well, are you going to? I mean, it's kind of like saying, what's the difference between joining a gym and getting a trainer, right? Like, for me, the accountability is huge. Having a coach, having somebody who has been there, done that, and can coach me through that, having that support, learning about why is this important. It's just not a feel-good thing, but really, why is this so important? Having that inspiration, that motivation, somebody who's there saying, this can change your life, and you deserve that. You deserve to be in a place where you can feel gratefulness on a regular basis. And so I really believe that I would rather, here's the other thing, I know that if I pay for something, I'm committed to doing it. And I don't want to create a group and just have a bunch of people join, and then within the first 15 days, everybody's kind of fizzled out, almost like New Year's resolutions, right? Everybody joins the gym January and February, and then in the middle of February, everybody's gone. Nobody knows where they are. I'd rather work with less people who are really committed to finding change in their life, who are really committed to cultivating gratitude to create a change in their life. And so that's another reason why. And this whole book process has been so amazing to me, because it makes me realize where I was and how far I've come, and how much I have to be grateful for, and how much of what I did, people don't do regularly. Gratefulness isn't anything new. It's been out there. It's just how many of us actually do it? How many of us actually sit down and do a grateful journal every night and see results from that, right? And so this gives you 30 days. We're finishing the month of love, and so the next 30 days that you'd have an opportunity to really say, I want something different. I want to commit to this. I want to use these tools. I want to learn more about this. I want to be around a community of like-minded people who are going to be encouraging me in this growth, and I want to try this out, because I want to be someplace different in my brain, in my heart, in my body, in my spirit in the next month. So I will be posting, there's a link. I've created a page called the Gratitude or the Grateful Connection. And so you can kind of view and see a little bit in there. There's an event. You can join the event. If you RSVP yes to the event that you want to be part of this group, then I will private message you with the link to register and get signed up and everything, and add you to our private group. Pamela, thank you so much. I am so excited. I am really praying that the right people will be part of this, the people who are going to benefit from this. And please, if you know anybody going through cancer, or you know a cancer parent, please share this video with them, because I really want them to be able to be part of our community absolutely for free, okay? So I'm excited. I will go post those links, and our first live stream in our group will be on Friday. So we'll be kicking it off really tomorrow, March 1st, but because I'm just getting this video out now, setting the groups up and getting all the information together, and making sure that I had enough good meaty stuff to share with everybody, that it was going to be worth them participating, took a little bit. But we'll start our first live stream on Friday, and then registration will only be open for the next week, though. Otherwise, you'll need to wait, if we do, I don't know if we will, but to another group. And so if you miss on Friday, you can always go back. The videos will be saved onto the group, so if you can't watch them live and be able to interact, then you for sure can go back and watch them at any time, all right? So thank you, guys. I hope that you decide to join our Grateful Connection, and I'm excited to see you in the class. Bye.